they broke the mold.
Okay, hopefully this stays working. We're going to go through and do a bit of an edit here. So I have an old project here. I'm going to leave that alone, and we're going to redo the podcast number 12. Let's change the name of it. It is Dealer Talk Podcast, Season 9, Episode 12. And we'll call it that. I think that works. Let's get rid of this too. So this is a DaVinci Resolve file. And I'm going to run through this fast because I did already run through it, but I'm going to do some different things this time. But this is a DaVinci Resolve file, and basically just double click it and open it. You have to have DaVinci Resolve Studio in order to do what I'm about to do. And I'm going to take this. The way we recorded this was on an ATEM Mini Extreme Pro, and it allows me to do ISO recording. And so with the ISO recording, I have every different camera angle, right? And that's basically what it is. So I'm opening it in DaVinci Resolve, and it shows me my layers and shows me some things. I've got this angle here, which I'm going to replace with a different clip. And I have this angle here, and I have this angle here. Yeah, so that's how we're going to do this. So how we do this is we open up the project here, and we are going to export the timeline. And we will export the timeline as an FCP XML. I usually like to do the latest. And we'll just leave it here. Dealer Talk Podcast, Season 9, Episode 12. And it's fast. We don't have to wait very long. Then we open up Final Cut Pro. And once it's open, we are going to create a new library. New library, Dealer Talk Podcast, Season 9, Episode 12. And I'm going to put it on this work drive that I was working on before. The reason I'm doing that is because this is an SSD. It's pretty fast, and I want to try to keep everything as self-contained as possible. Okay. File. Next part is File, Import XML. This will create a new event and bring in all the clips, and also give me a project. Okay, give it a second. It cleans everything up. Okay, now I have a bunch of layers here, and I'm going to go through the layers real quick. Let's look at this right here. This is where it says 4 Eyes and Dealer Talk. Yeah, whatever. 4 Eyes and Dealer Talk. We'll just make this invisible, and you can see them go, like, see them disappear and reappear. This is the layer for them. This is the layer of Herb's camera. And I've got this blue stuff. Now, what's happening here is when it goes to this camera, I don't know why it does this in Final Cut Pro and Resolve and whatnot, but this is actually a super source, and we'll build that, and it has 2 layers, like 2 windows, and then it has the titles and all that kind of thing. And I did that on the ATEM, and it just, for some reason, shows up like this. I don't know why that keeps going black. All right. So with this, I'm actually going to keep this layer here. I will get rid of it later, but I'm going to keep it here as a reference for now. All right, first thing I need to do is let's extend this layer of audio and extend it all the way to the end. Okay, and let's get rid of this layer of audio, because we don't need that. And then this layer, I'm just going to silence it for now, all the way down. Okay, good. The front, let's go ahead and knock that off. Let's get rid of this transition, get rid of this transition. Go back there. Okay, and let's start it there. Let's get rid of all this in the front. We don't need that. We're going to replace this. Whoops. We're going to replace this. That was weird. Okay. Oh, we don't need that up either. We're going to replace this with the intro. Now, I'm going to open up a previous project because I'm going to copy and paste things from it into this, like effects and things like that. But I'll explain them as I do. It's easier to do that. It takes less time. So that's why I do it that way. Okay, so I have intro and music. I'm going to just copy that. And you can see I have the layer of the intro. Here's the music. Let's get rid of this empty space. And I can add a transition here. And with that, I will add the transition here.
What up? Welcome to the last.
It's a bit loud right there during that audio transition.
What up? Welcome.
Okay, now he's really quiet in this part.
Season 9. Very.
But he doesn't have to be. So let's grab the audio from here.
You have to.
And copy the attributes, which are voice isolation, a compressor, and a noise gate. I don't know that I need the noise gate. I think I used it because there was something going on in a different episode.
To the last episode of season 9.
I think it works. I will leave it like that. Okay, so now we need to replace this file. In my downloads folder, I should have that. Where is it? Zach Scriven. Pull him in. Oh, I don't like it when it's like that. I like it like this. Okay. We don't have him synced. I can sync him. It'll be fine. Let's mark that and make this disappear. Chances are it's going to be, it looks like it's right about there, so I know it looks goofy. You get used to it. No, that's not right.
Creation and storytelling, and so that's kind of how I.
He had his eyes closed.
And how we knew each other. But as far as my journey into becoming an EV owner and creating a lot more content around the EV space was I became a Tesla owner in 2000, like March of 2022. I took a delivery.
Let's find something a little more notable. That looks a little more notable. Doesn't, honestly, it doesn't look that far off.
Vehicle here, you know.
Okay, let's copy the audio from this one too. Now this one, I have a couple little layers here that makes it a little different, but we're going to just copy the audio from here. Actually, I'm going to copy, yeah, I'll just copy the audio for now. I just want it to be louder.
Took a delivery of a Tesla Model 3 long range. And,
It's in sync.
Yeah, that's kind of changed my life.
Okay, cool. We'll let that go all the way out. We're going to change it later. All right, so I have this. Now, I want you to look at this. I have this. This is basically the same thing. I have this layer here that says subsource. I'm going to double click it, and I've got two layers of her. So I'm going to copy this first layer, and we're going to back to Zach. And I'm going to paste. Actually, I'm not going to paste. I'm going to copy this layer, and I'm going to paste it to the top layer. And I don't want the audio attributes because I just did that. And you'll notice I have some interesting video attributes. It cuts him out, puts it on a blurry backdrop, stuff like that. All right, then let's go forward to her, copy this. We're going to paste this on the bottom layer. Now notice he is on an actual blurry background. So just to kind of show you real quick the effects here, I've got the SC Sharpen tools. I probably should lighten that up just a bit. And then I have this one called Keeper. Basically keys out the person from the background. I have the vignette. And I have a color board, but I'm not really using it. And then on this one, I have just the vignette, the Gaussian blur. And I also have a color board, but I'm not going to use it. We'll just leave it like that. I think it looks good enough. All right, so now I'm going to take this and Option G to group, and I will call it subsource. Actually, before I group it, I want to keep that, and I'm going to copy this layer, both of them, stick it up on top. Come on, get up there, get up there, get up there. I got two of them now. No, just one. Okay. So this is going to be my subsource. Option G, subsource. That's what I'm calling it. You can call that whatever you want. The only reason I am making that way is so that it kind of stays together. That's really all I want to do. This one is my super source. And I'm going to turn the audio down because I'm taking the audio from these two layers anyway. Now I will go back here, and this time I'm going to open up this super source, and I want to explain the layers here. We've got her, our blurry background. We have Herb. We have this cool little layer here. That's the graphics. And then we have this, that are these two titles. And then I have these up here, which I'm actually probably not going to use now. So we will ignore those. But I do want these three. And I will paste them there. Oh, why is it only that many? Okay. Let's grab these and stick them down here. Zoom in a bit. Put that one there too, and get rid of these. Cut this off. Okay, so his name is not Carrie Wise. His name is Zach Scriven. So we will give him a proper name. Zach Scriven. Founder and CEO of Electric Mobile Detailing. That's a long one. I think I'll just put CEO. Or just founder, actually. Founder. That'll work. And then let's bring this back a bit. There we go. That way it stays within the bounds. All right. Go back to the super source. And I'm going to copy here. And this is what I'm going to do. I am not going to give the attributes and everything other than the transform attributes. Okay, and then on this one we'll do the same thing. Oh yeah, we need Herb. This layer will work. Why isn't it snapping? There it goes. That was weird. I wonder why it didn't snap. Nah, it goes all the way over. Okay. And let's paste the attributes and the cropping there. Good. Good, good, good. The only issue I have with Zach is he's off center. So let's center him.
That's full disclosure there, but you know, I try to look at it objectively and
cool. All right, let's turn this into a compound clip. Option G, super source. Now, my super source on the ATEM didn't look exactly like this, but it was pretty darn close. It was close enough for this to work. All right, now I'm going.
We'll talk later. Later. Right on. There you have it, folks. Zach Scriven, thanks, man, for doing this. Really appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in. That's all the time that we have for today. And as usual, we'll talk later. There you have it, folks. Zach Scriven, thanks, man, for doing this. Really appreciate it. And thank you for tuning in. That's all the time that we have for today. And as usual, we'll talk later. There you have it, folks. Later.
to charge up to like 100% for daily usage. So that's kind of one of the advantages of those. I think they also had a standard range structural battery pack Model Y for a while that came out of the Austin factory, but I'm not sure if you can get that anymore. But yeah, the LFP chemistry is better for daily charging up to 100%. So, but makes driving much less fatiguing on road trips. So, some people say like, "Oh, I can't imagine doing road trips." I can't imagine doing it without it, So, no, there was one supercharger that was out on the way there, and so I just had to charge up a little bit more than I would have normally had to, and I drove a little bit slower, but I made it with like 30% to spare. But it did use about 11% for conditioning because it was like in the teens, and so it did use quite a bit of amount of battery for preconditioning. But I had saved so much on the driving side because I went.
All right. There is one question that we ask everybody that comes on the show, and that question.
Um,
Why aren't we being more creative like that in engaging the community with the assets that we have? And so they were having driving school. And guess what happens when those 16-year-olds are driving their Hondas at the driving school at the car dealership? Guess what they're going to think about when they're buying a car?
Right. Yeah, of course.
Their parents are buying a car. And so it's the long game. Marketing is not just the short game of what you can get this very second, which is kind of what we think about in auto retail. It's also the long game of like,
we've created that ourselves because it is weird. I mean, let's just admit it. It is weird. If you go buy anything and we've created that ourselves because it is weird. I mean, let's just admit it. It is weird. If you go buy anything and the salesperson gets up, we've created that ourselves because it is weird. I mean, let's just admit
when you think about the overall, just the
Yeah, and I think you hear a lot about penny perfect payments. I hate that word as a marketer because it's just overused. Everybody's like, we have the most accurate, information, but we really do have the most accurate information, and I think part of that is your system, your digital retailing system, your showroom platform has to be very precise in all the different variations of customers that come in, the rebates and incentives, their military customer, are they stackable? And so what we do really well, the rebates and incentives. The rebates and incentives. Yeah, I mean, I think the big theme for us, I think the big theme for us across our, thousands of dealers. Yeah, and I think and the rebates and incentives.
To watch other clips like this, click here, and to watch a full episode, click here. How are you, dude?
that they broke the mold.